So today, I will read something written by one of my godbrothers, which was the introduction to the songbook by Achyutananda Swami. He had written a glimpse into the life of Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's only short. No, it's not very. Everything else written about Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quite long and detailed. We'll just have just a glimpse. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very, very important. You may not know it, but those of us in this ISKCON society, we are known as the followers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Just like there's those who follow Rupa Goswami. What do they call those? The Rupanugas. Right? So those who follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur are called the Bhaktivinoda Dvara. Those who are following in the line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we are actually the followers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There was many followers of Lord Chaitanya. We know that there's different lines coming down from Lord Chaitanya. But specifically, we are the followers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we hear something, just only something. Actually, it is unlimited, the amount of things that Bhaktivinoda Thakur did. And the immense importance of what he did would take a very, very long time to discuss it and appreciate it and glorify Bhaktivinoda Thakur properly. To properly glorify him would take a long time. Actually, you probably couldn't. It would probably take forever because of what he has done. We should at least appreciate it, something. So I'll just read something written by Achyutananda and discuss it a little bit. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur led a life of incessant labor and activity for Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He effected such immense good in the world that his work is only to be compared with the unbounded works of Sri Chaitanya himself and the Goswamis. It was the spiritual attempts and divine writing of this individual that turned the scale and led the intelligent and educated community to believe in the noble precepts and teachings of Lord Chaitanya. If we look back over 1 century, about 150 years now, we cannot but be astonished to find how degraded was the condition of the Vaishnava faith, which had its pure origin in the deep and majestic spiritual philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even vastly learned Pandits could not fathom the super excellent precepts of Lord Chaitanya's philosophy, yet due to incredulity born of the ignorance of uncalculated men, the Vaishnava faith had been degraded and was considered a beggar's excuse for living at the expense of society. It was by sheer love for the Godhead that Thakur Bhaktivinoda expounded the deep philosophy which had remained concealed in the pages of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, and the Bhagavatam. By his action toward divine service and also by his words set in simple language to be easily understood by readers in general, he has given this philosophy to the world. It is his writings and his divine, unparalleled character that have helped to produce a class of educated and enlightened men who are now proud of their Vaishnava faith and of their acquisition of the spiritual knowledge of the pure and sublime philosophy of Krishna on which the stern teachings of Sri Chaitanya are based. So, at the time when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was born, he took his birth in Bengal, and Bengal was mostly people who worship goddess Kali. Kali Puja was most popular there, and they are all non-veg. They're mostly all non-veg. And they engage in drinking and smoking also. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's a very amazing personality. Even though he's a Nitya Siddha, he's an eternally liberated soul, still he took his birth in such a situation which normally eternally liberated souls do not take their birth in. And that is that his family were also like that. They're not, they were also involved in the worship of Kali and eating meat and drinking. So he is also sometimes compared with Prahlad Maharaj, because he is born in a family of those persons. But he's a Nitya Siddha. Though we usually hear that Nitya Siddhas like Srila Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati or other great Nitya Siddhas are born in families of pure devotees. So it's not usual for this. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such a person. And he was born in his grandfather's house or his uncle's house in Bengal. And he was brought up there. And then he went to live in Calcutta. I won't go into all the details. But the essence is that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even though he's born into this situation, as soon as he comes in contact with Krishna consciousness, immediately his pure Krishna consciousness is awakened. This is a Nitya Siddha. A Nitya Siddha immediately awakens in coming in contact with Krishna consciousness, and his pure attachment for Krishna is manifested. Therefore, we can understand that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has come here for this particular service to Lord Chaitanya. And he was educated. He was an educated person, and he very much liked Lord Chaitanya, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And he struggled very hard to find any books about Lord Chaitanya. Even it was not possible to get Chaitanya Charitamrita. He had to struggle to find a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And other books like Chaitanya Bhagavatam, all these books. The followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were not considered very educated at all. They were considered very sentimental. You might compare them today to those people who sing Bhajan Nitai Go, like that. Nitai Go, Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ramalada. Like this. So there were many like that at that time, who were considered to be the followers of Lord Chaitanya, but they were very misbehaved. And they were not so educated. They were just using this for begging. There was, of course, some who were strictly following, but they were so rare. It was very difficult to find them. It was very difficult to find pure devotees, followers of Lord Chaitanya. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was very much interested in these things, and he sought out such devotees. He was engaged in government service, and he was always trying to get a job close to Navadvip. And eventually he said he would just resign from his job. So they gave him a job in Krishnagar, which he was very happy to get. And in that way he began visiting Navadvip and making all sorts of inquiries as to where was the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. And he did thorough study also of the scriptures, Shastras, because it's described where Navadvip is, it's on a certain bank of the Ganges. And so he made many inquiries. And of course the local people of Navadvip were all telling him, this is the place, this is where Lord Chaitanya was born, here. And therefore there was a lot of disagreements. Don't think disagreement is new. There was a lot of disagreements. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a disagreement with his own Diksha Guru. Because he wanted a Diksha Guru, you see, in the line of Lord Chaitanya, like that. But he could not find a Diksha Guru. You may say, why? Who shall I accept as a Guru? Bhaktivinoda Thakur also was thinking like that. Who will I accept? So he prayed to Lord Chaitanya. That's the answer. If you want to know, then you pray to Lord Chaitanya. Please help me. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prayed to Lord Chaitanya to please give him a Diksha Guru. So in his meditation, Lord Chaitanya instructed him, you take initiation from one devotee who is coming in the line of Nityananda. His name was Bipin Bihari Goswami, isn't it? And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur took initiation from that Jati Gosai. They are in the Nityananda Vamsa. Because that is what Lord Chaitanya said to do. He told him to take initiation from that person. So he was initiated by that person. And that particular devotee also, he was also saying that the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya was Navadvip. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was reading the Shastra, he read different. It said differently. It says it was in a different place. So he made many inquiries. He researched it. He looked at old maps. He looked at some old maps. And on one old map, he found the name of Sri Mayapur. But that Mayapur was on the opposite bank of the Ganges. Many people in his inquiries, they said, oh, the Ganges had moved. The Ganges had moved and that place is finished. It is lost under the movement of the Ganga. But he didn't accept it. He didn't accept it. He kept inquiring and eventually he found a group of devotees who were worshipping a particular place, and they were saying that is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. So he went there to that place, that is Sri Mayapur. And from his study and everything, he recognized and he established this place as the genuine birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, Mayapur, where we have our ISKCON. He has established this place. We should understand, without him, you wouldn't even know where it was. And he had association with such nice devotees. Therefore, on our parampara, we see that before Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Jagannath Babaji. This is the Shiksha Parampara. Shiksha Parampara, that these are the liberated devotees in the line coming from Lord Chaitanya. Not all of the devotees are put there. And they won't, in the future, they won't be put either. There may be so many, but this is the Shiksha line. It is more important. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, the shiksha is more important. You should understand it, what it means. Yeah? Just like we are also reading book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We are also reading his book. So we're getting shiksha from him. When you're reading Prabhupada's book, you're getting shiksha from him, like this. Of course, you're reading Krishna's book, Bhagavad Gita. You're getting shiksha from him, like this. So this knowledge, the transfer of knowledge in disciplic succession, this is the most important thing. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he came and he established this birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, and he formed a society. What did they call it? The Vishva Vaishnav Raja Sabha. A big society. Huh? And many Vaishnavas joined this society. He started the idea of a big institution where people would work together cooperatively for the spreading of Krishna consciousness throughout the entire world. That was his vision, to spread this Krishna consciousness all over the planet. And he also wrote books in English that were put in universities in both the southern and northern hemisphere. He envisioned that the big society, that was his idea, to make a big institution. And it was followed by his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. You should understand that at the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the Vaishnavas, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they were mostly Babajis, beggars. And they would just do their solitary bhajan. And so many deviations were there. They were not organized. Neither did they print any books. They were not scholarly. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he came to change all of these things. Therefore, he began prolifically writing books. He would work in a job all day. He was working in job, making money. And he was a family man. He had so many children. And he would stay awake all night. He would stay awake late at night to the early hours of the morning, writing books and songs. He was writing so many beautiful songs full of the pure teachings of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya. And he wrote many wonderful books that were recognized by great scholars around the world, like German Sanskrit scholars. They were glorifying him. And they asked him to do so many things. And he made a Bhagavad Gita. He had to put together Bhagavad Gita also with commentary by Baladev Vidyabhushan, I think it is. And he put his own commentary also. And he's done the translating for it. And he, of course, wrote very famous books. He wrote more than 100 books. And so many songs. And we are singing those songs like we're singing Jai Radha Madhav every day. Why are we singing these songs more than any other song? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books and songs are compared with Narottam Das Thakur's. Such wonderful songs that he wrote. And how important they are to us. We're singing these songs every day. Even we sing in the evening a Sandhya Artik, that Jaya Jaya Gaurachanda Arotika Shobha. We are singing these things. And Jai Radha Madhav. All these we're singing. And of course we have you all know these songs like Oh He Vaishnava Thakur. And many of you sing these things every day. Like Gurudev Kripabindu Diya Koroe Dase Chinapeka Atihila. You worship your own Guru with these songs. How much he has given to us. He works so hard. Therefore, it says here, he had a life of hard work for the pleasure of Krishna. He didn't just sit and chant Hare Krishna. He did do that, but that was at the very few years at the end of his life. For a few years at the end of his life, he just did that nirjan bhajan. But the rest of the time he was always working so hard and establishing this Krishna consciousness. And he made this prediction also. He predicted that there will be a great personality who will come and he will establish this Krishna consciousness and temples all over the world. He predicted that. And of course we know that is Srila Prabhupada. So he made that prediction. But he is the original founding father of this idea of a big institution. Now some people say, oh, institution is not good, because it will become, very opulent. It will become very opulent and people will want to exploit it for their own sense gratification. But this is not an ordinary institution. This is not an institution that can be exploited. Why? Because this institution is centered on the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the main thing in our society, is always the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. And where there is the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, there is Krishna. There is Krishna. So as long as the chanting is going on, there is Krishna. And also, this society is centered on Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day, we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if you are hearing Srimad, the chanting of Srimad, we chanted the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we're studying Srimad Bhagavatam in the assembly of devotees, and discussing, and giving a commentary. We're studying the commentaries of the acharyas, specifically our founder acharya, Srila Prabhupada. And in this way, how can this institution fail? It is the chanting of the holy name and the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. And also this institution is centered around the deity. In the temple, all of our temples, they have very beautiful deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, Radha Rasa Bihari, or Krishna Balaram, or Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. So this institution, we're not just putting these deities here to collect some money. No, we put the deities here because we're developing love for Krishna. This is what this institution is, the chanting of the holy names, the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the worshipping of the deity. And also, it's based on sadhu sangha. The main thing of all our, I ask some people I see, they come to the temple, or they have come here from a distant place, or they even come from another sampradaya. They come from different groups, and they come to ISKCON. And I say, why have you come here? Why have you come to this ISKCON assembly? And they say, I came here for sadhu sangha. Because here I'm going to get the association of devotees all the time. All the time. I can come here every day and there will always be some festival. There will always be so many devotees. They're all chanting Hare Krishna very happily and dancing. They're all dancing like mad sometimes. Oh, I damage my leg seeing them because they're dancing so much. I also want to dance. Where do you get that? Where will you go? Where will you go? Anywhere. Where will you see the ecstatic dancing of devotees and loud chanting of the holy names of Krishna? Where will you go where you will hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day? Where will you go? Where will you see the deities so dressed so beautifully that when you look at them, oh, your eyes, you want to see more and more. And you come again and again. Oh, how beautiful. Today they are dressed like this. Tomorrow and the day before. Oh. And the festivals, such beautiful festivals. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he envisioned a huge institution which is centered on these things. You should understand it, that this institution is the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Srila Prabhupada calls this the Sankirtan movement, the Hare Krishna movement. It is the Hare Krishna movement. It's a society. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he began that to make a Vaishnava Raja Sabha, to make a society of devotees where they all work together. They're all working together for the pleasure of Krishna. They're not all just doing their own little thing here, little thing. No, we should all work together. To spread this Krishna consciousness to every town and village of the world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was gathering big audiences. He was doing big programs. Many thousands of people were coming and he was speaking very strongly to them with complete conviction. If we work together, we will establish this Krishna consciousness all over the world. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was convincing so many people. And he worked. He wasn't just talking. He worked very hard. When he found that birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, it is said that he would personally go door to door with a bag in his hand, collecting money. Please give some rupees. To build a temple of Gaura Vishnu Priya at the Yogapit. He personally begged the money. He was going door to door. He wasn't just talking, he was going out. And at the same time, he's writing so many books. And he's holding a job. He's doing so many things. What kind of person is this? And then when you read his books, I like his books also. I like his books. I don't say I like them better than my guru's books, but I like them a lot. I like Harinam Chintamani. I like Jivadharma. I like Bhakti Loka. Chaitanya Shikshamrita. Sri Krishna Samhita. These books are wonderful books, amazing, absolutely amazing books. But you have to be scholarly. Devotee is not some sentimentalist anymore. Devotee becomes very scholarly, reading so many books are there. And Prabhupada says, you must read these books. That was given by, when they said to Prabhupada, should we translate books of previous acharyas? Prabhupada said, yes, definitely. He wanted these books by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, also for the devotees, so that you can be so absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And it's very scientific. Prabhupada was always saying this, the science of Krishna consciousness. For Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's the founder of this thing. He was meeting very educated people. There's many things, so many things he did, and we should try to study these things and understand them. But we should also work under the direction of Guru, of the devotees, because you may misunderstand some of the things that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said. He says some things which were applicable according to time and place when he was there. Like when you read Chaitanya Shikshamrita or Jivadama, some things are like, whoa, what is that? You know, like here writing about Raganuga Bhakti a lot. He writes a lot about Raganuga Bhakti. And we may misunderstand. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his son, he did not push this Raganuga Bhakti like Bhaktivinoda Thakur did. He did not push that thing so much. No, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati pushed preaching. He wanted all the devotees to go out and preach. Because there is some misunderstanding sometime that devotees think that I'll do this Nirjan Bhajan. You know, I'll just sit in ashram, in some kutir, and chant Hare Krishna. And then I will become very advanced. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't do that. No, he worked. He worked very hard. Only at the last few years of his life, I think 4 years at the max, that he did that. Oh, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was always like this also, that don't do this. You just preach. And you become more dear to Krishna by preaching. How is it so? But Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, that person who gives this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, who gives it to others, is the most dear. Those who are the preachers are the most dear to Krishna. And Krishna says, there is no one more dear, nor will there ever be one more dear to me than he who preaches this message of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is a preacher of these modern times. He's a preacher of modern times. He's writing so many books, getting devotees all to work together, establishing places, temples, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, and many other temples. And the government people, they liked Bhaktivinoda Thakur so much, they put him in charge of the temple of Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, because He regulated everything. He brought everything under control. They were not behaving. They were not doing proper worship. He got them doing the cooking properly and offering, doing everything on time. Also, if there was any trouble in some towns or some cities, he would go there and expose these so-called incarnations, yogis who are posing themselves and getting followers, doing so many nonsense things in the name of Krishna Consciousness. So he would go there and expose them, like some yogi who has been exposed lately, put into jail. So he also would put them into jail. And people were afraid to oppose them. People were afraid. Therefore, they would not stand up against these cheaters. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was standing up against anybody who was a cheater. He would fight them and defeat them. And his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he was also like that. If there was any deviation, they would speak. They are not afraid to speak the truth, even if it's unpalatable truth. Or that, you should not say that. He's a great person. No, he's a rascal. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was like that. He was very bold, strong. And his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, also was very bold and strong. And you see also our Gurudev Srila Prabhupada, he's also very bold and strong. No compromise. And establishing a big institution with power, a lot of power. And that power is used in the service of Krishna. Most people, they say, institution, very careful, it gets so much power, and then that power will be misused. Therefore, institution is not good. They will say. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, they say, no, this institution is good. Because with this institution, we can preach very powerfully. Just look how it is coming up now. More and more temples as gorgeous as this. And people are coming by that. The lakhs of people are coming all over the world. Because devotees are understanding. Alone, we can't do anything. But if we work together, we're very strong. But how do we work together? It is this vision of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You just center your institution on the chanting of the holy names, on the worship of the deity, the Srimad Bhagavatam. This devotee association. All these things. Therefore, it cannot fail. As long as we have these things, it cannot fail. We will be successful. And this is all by the mercy of such a great soul as Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is the preacher of the modern time. And therefore he is like our grandfather. He's the founder of this Hare Krishna movement. And of course we are coming in that line. So that we want to get the mercy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we are singing his songs and we are following in his mood. We accept his mood. which is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is also accepting that mood. And our Gurudev Prabhupada has accepted that mood. We are not interested in becoming Babajis. No, we're not interested. If I am to get Raganuga Bhakti, that will spontaneously come. I don't have to do any sadhana for that. The only sadhana I need to do is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To chant the holy name offenselessly. To chant the pure holy name is the only sadhana I have to do. And automatically everything else will be okay. This is the sadhana of this Hare Krishna movement. To chant the pure holy name of Krishna. To be Trinadapi Sinichana. And to accept the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and such acharyas like this. He is called a Sapta Goswami, the seventh Goswami. Because but he's a householder, you may say, a married person. Had so many children. But look at what he has, books. Look at his books. Look at what he did. Look at what he did. It's not ordinary. Therefore, with great respect, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has said this thing. To serve Guru with awe and reverence at a distance is not any good. You know, oh Gurudev, Gurudev. No. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, don't serve Guru like that. You should come close to Guru and serve with love and affection. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says like that. Not that you should serve at a distance, no. You should come close to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You should come close to Prabhupada. You should come close to their mood. You should accept their mood. And work together. Work together. Sankirtan. Jagya Sankirtana Praya Yujantihi Sumedasa. That if you're intelligent, then you will understand what is this Sankirtan. We chant Hare Krishna together. We hear Srimad Bhagavatam together. We worship the Lord together. And in this way, we are very happy, joyful. Joyful. And then when people see this Krishna Consciousness movement like this, and Prabhupada would say, this ISKCON is a society where there is no enviousness at all. That is a society where it's based on love and trust. And you may say, oh, is it really? Is it really? And I say, yes, it is. Yes. Because that is the society of Vaishnavas. That is a society of Vaishnavas. Where they understand these things. They work together for the benefit of the entire world, for the benefit of all living beings. And they know that this will give Lord Krishna the greatest happiness. That is what will please Krishna the most. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has had that vision. He said that Prabhupada will come, he will establish it. And now, Prabhupada says, you just have to fit into this. Just work in cooperation. You just have to cooperate. Tolerate and cooperate. That's all you have to do. We don't have to think about ourselves so much. We just cooperate. And everything, they are planning so many festivals, so many book distribution, so many nice temples. So many management things are going on. So many working together. And in doing that, getting more and more happiness in Krishna consciousness. And the more happiness there is in Krishna consciousness, the more you are free from this material world. And Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say, we'll have an ISKCON also in the spiritual world. Of course, that doesn't mean like there'll be ISKCON GBC or something. No, what does ISKCON mean? ISKCON means that the association of Vaishnavas, where they're all working together cooperatively. We're just cooperating. We're working together. And in this way, it gives Krishna, because we're just cooperating with Krishna. We're cooperating with Lord Chaitanya. So on this day, I offer my most humble obeisances to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to Srila Prabhupada, and I have just a little appreciation. According to my capacity, it's only a little, but I appreciate the greatness of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we'll come and we'll offer some flowers, some pushpanjali, and all this. And we should try to read something more about Bhaktivinoda Thakur and remember him. And by doing so, you get his association. Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, give me your association. I want so if you want the association of Prabhupada, if you want the association of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all the acharyas, you just have to call out to them. You have to think of them. You have to hear from them. And immediately you get their association. You will get their association. Thank you very much. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai